It is 8 o'clock on the dot. It is beautiful outside. Hope you're having a great start to the day. I'm West 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk, where we get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. We sip coffee together, even though tomorrow I have blood work right after Coffee Talk, so there is no coffee sipping. Oh, that's going to be a sad day. Anyway, let's look outside our Tower Cam network, and I need to get engineering to look at this. This computer's video input is a little under the weather. It's kind of glitching, but at least we listen. You can kind of see it, right? Like it's a little pretty outside. It's beautiful, even if that camera's glitchy. First warning, live Doppler radar, looking good. Scanning around, just kind of lapsed this though. We got a little bit of rainfall. Trying to perhaps work over toward the Volusia coastline. You see some of that rain there further to the south. Some rains off the shoreline of Brevard County. Not too bad, though. Temperature-wise, we're sitting at about 73 degrees in Orlando, 72 outside in the Villages, 71 in DeLand. It may not be as low humidity as we saw a couple of days ago, but this is still awful nice, you ask me. Let's check the dew point temperatures right now. Stand by. It's loading. It's loading. Dew point temperatures. All right. Outside, I could tell you right off the bat, as I say, it's the lower 70s. I mean, it may not be the 60s. It may not be as dry as it was, but the muggy meter is not bad. And over the next couple of days, yeah. Okay. So, lower 70s today on the muggy meter. Sure, that makes sense. Friday, I will be right back here doing Coffee Talk on my back patio. Saturday and Sunday, I'm off of work, but we're still doing Coffee Talk, which means that we'll be sitting here doing Coffee Talk on the patio. I mean, it is beautiful outside. It's just a beautiful morning. I hope you're enjoying this morning. I hope you are as well. Warren, good morning to you. I'm having a great, blessed morning. Good morning to you. Frankie, good morning to you. Terry, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Janice is back on the patio. Oh, yeah. Oh, with this kind of weather, you got to. You got to. Now, remember one thing. These are not morning low temperatures. These are dew point temperatures. Okay? But that is a direct measurement of the moisture in the atmosphere. That tells you everything you need to know, that it is going to feel excellent. Just absolutely excellent. So where do we go in terms of the forecast today? All right, so we start off nice, maybe a sprinkle or two. Through the afternoon, we do look to see a few showers and thunder showers developing, up to about a 50% coverage of storms today. Temperatures climbing into the mid-80s. This seriously is a beautiful, beautiful forecast. Now, let's take a look around Central Florida first, and then we can get into the Futurecast model data. But there's your mid-80s. Average high temperature, 89. How does 86 in Orlando sound? I mean, to me, it sounds pretty great. What about you? You tell me. 86 in Sanford, 87 degrees in the Villages. Good gravy. Laura says, humid today compared to yesterday in Ocala. Yeah, I mean, in Orlando, it's not. It's less humidity today. And it's going to change this next couple of days. The humidity is going to be dropping. So that's great. Yeah. Jay says, thunderstorms woke me up this morning in St. Augustine. Oh, excuse me so much for sleeping in. Yeah, there were definitely some storms off the shoreline particularly. Let's pop back up that live radar. I mean, you're a little further north. Oh, yeah, so there is a little bit of stormy action, actually. I'll zoom in here. I'll switch over to, well, this is our radar. Yeah, oh, yeah, it stormed like crazy by you. Yeah, that's our live radar. We tap into the Jacksonville radar. Showing the same thing. Yeah. Storms around. Okay, point taken. Point taken. Yeah, you got some storms. All right, so where do we go from here today, right? That's the big question. Let's dial in. I want to look, there's a couple of different flavors of Futurecast, and I do want to take a look at each of them. So this is our kind of rapid update Futurecast. This morning looking good. A couple of those coastal storms already by about lunchtime, and then working inland through the afternoon, getting some heavier stuff around dinner time out west. All right, so there's that. Let's look at the longer range Futurecast. Same idea, coastal showers working inland through the afternoon. Let's dial up this one. All right. It's just different flavors of it. All right. So they all kind of seem. Now, the overall coverage, like for this afternoon and evening, may differ, but they're all kind of saying around lunchtime, depending on the timeline. But they're all saying around lunchtime, some coastal downpours, and then everything works inland. So we can handle that. That's not too bad. It's not too bad. Any questions, comments, concerns for y'all while we're looking at today's forecast? It's not going to be a washout by any stretch. And I do think that the coverage of rain is going to be lower than yesterday, but there are still storms around. John says, hey, no landscapers outside today. I know. My neighbor's not out mowing and weed whacking while I'm doing coffee talk. Taylor says, I'm too tired to go outside until I need to. We had a rough night being up multiple times, an hour all night. Oh my gosh, Taylor, I'm so sorry. God, I know that vibe so much. We were up, I guess, once last night. I did not wake up last night. Ugh. I woke up the night before and the night before, though. Oh, man. Kathy says, morning all. That storm in Melbourne last night was wicked. Yeah, there were some decent storms in Brevard County last night. What a night of rain it was. I still have to put water in my pool. Oh, well. Still have to put water in my pool. Looks like a bike ride morning, Jennifer says. Oh, yeah. I love that there isn't a 9 anywhere on the map. I agree. I mean, seriously, that's beautiful stuff. I love it. It's very foggy here in Brooksville. Is it really? Let's look at the visibilities. I haven't even checked that this morning. Oh, yeah, I can see that. You see that little white puff on the map there? Yeah, not bad in most of Central Florida, but out, like, you know, out towards 75 there, a little bit of fog. Interesting. Always interesting. Mother Nature always throwing us curveballs. I love it. Will Summerfield get hit today? You could see some storms. It looks like it's going to want to be on the East Coast today. And there's a good reason for it. Let me take you to kind of the weather pattern, all right? So here we are for today. We're going to be stormy-ish because we've got that area of low pressure developing out east of us, right? And then as it lifts to the north, we actually start to entrain in some drier air for our Friday, our Saturday, and Sunday. Just looking outstanding, people. Seriously. Sunday does start to get a little warmer as more humidity works into the mix. But Saturday, oh my gosh. Now, we already showed the muggy meter. I'm going to show it again just for funsies, right? Like, that's excellent. Lower humidity, the whole 9 yards. But let's take a look at the 7-day forecast. And we'll go in depth for sure. But like, just take a moment and look at these next few days together, okay? First off, today, mid-80s, a couple of storms around, right? Friday, 86, partly cloudy skies. Saturday, the first day of fall, waking up to the 60s, high of 86. Sunday, waking up to the 60s, high of 88. And then we get back into some showers. I mean, seriously. Seriously. So let's do this. Let's talk about some of the daily temperatures. Sound good? Let's begin with high temperatures tomorrow, okay? Just like today, they're going to look outstanding. Friday afternoon puts us into the mid-range of the 80s. Let's look, more importantly, at Saturday morning. I'm going to take a minute and let you settle that in, okay? 69 in Orlando, that would be our first morning low with temperatures in the 60s. Look at Sunday morning, 68. It's not huge, but it's something. It's something. I'll take it. I'll take it. I love it. I got it at Ross. Listening mode. Last night, storms of Brevard had lightning hit my neighbor's tree and set it on fire. Oh my God, Christina, that's terrible. Certainly nothing that we want to be hearing about. Man. I walked this morning in Titusville, pretty lightning in Titusville last night. Oh yeah, there were definitely some storms for sure. How is Monday evening in Tampa looking heading to the game? It doesn't look bad. There'll be a little bit of rain around. Rain coverage has come down a little bit in terms of the model guidance. Problem is that our high resolution, like Futurecast models, don't go out that far. But if I were to pull up the long range Futurecast. Here. So you're asking Monday. There's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's Monday. So it's 3 o'clock, some storms, 5, 6 o'clock, it's fading. So, yeah, maybe a little bit of afternoon stormy action over there, and then kind of like little bit by little bit, it'll be fading afterward. Yep. I worked nights. The storms woke me up yesterday trying to sleep. Cassandra, I'm sorry. We got minimal sky water in my house last night. I'm jealous. We got decent storms. Oh, Cindy got it. Yeah, I mean, I still have to put water in the pool. Oh well. How about the rain later here in Eustis? Could see some. Yes. Kelly says, since you're outside and all, will you be hosting a coffee talk pool party? In case you didn't get the memo, it's held at your house this year. Oh, is it? Oh my gosh. That means I have to clean. You can see like the pool toys are still out. It means I have to clean some of those pool toys up. Yeah, Mike's pointing out that today is the 21st of September. Mike's the first one to pop it in the feed. I'm actually impressed we waited this long. It's 8:11. Denise says, I want fall. I mean, Denise, tell me that this isn't at least an early fall 7-day forecast for Central Florida. There are no 90s on the map. None. We've got mid-80s for some daytime highs. We've got 60s in the morning. Is it straight up chilly? No. But listen, I do coffee talk outside during the fall much. So I'm out here. I'm in fall mode. I'm doing it. You know? Are the water temps lowering as well? They're still in the low to mid 80s at the beaches. So at least for now, yeah. What's it like in Kansas for that UCF football game? Yes, in the Little Apple. Let's talk about the big three college football teams in Central Florida and in North Florida. We'll start, of course, with UCF because the question was asked. So heading to the Little Apple? Question mark. Here's what you got. First off, you can't ask for a much better forecast than that. And I'll also say this is going to be an interesting game because UCF, hungry, Big 12, obviously. Kansas State lost last week, so they're mad. This is going to be a fun game to watch. Yeah, so there you go. Looks like a great forecast for the Knights. Temperatures in the mid-70s, low 70s. Traveling as well this week, FSU heading to Clemson. That's going to be a fun football game to watch as well. Noon kick, which kind of stinks a little bit. But look at that forecast. Lower 70s? Oh, my God. Come on. You Knowles have perhaps the best football game forecast of the weekend. And then up in the swamp, if you're heading up to Gainesville, the 49ers are coming to play. Mid-80s, looks really nice. The reality is, even in Central Florida and in North Florida, the weather is fantastic. Though I do think that Clemson forecast looks just a little bit better. Just a little bit. I don't know. Any other questions? Anything? Not a drop of rain yesterday in Palm Coast. Pretty lightning, though. That's correct. That's correct. Let's see. You're driving to North Carolina this morning, Matt says. Am I going to hit any storms on the way up? Downtown Orlando right now? Let's pull up the maps. I don't know. Stand by. All right. There's your map. So that storm system is developing off of our east coast. So right now, probably up around Jacksonville and then in through, depending on your routing, of course. But you can kind of see there's that storm system off of our east coast is bubbling up. So it'll be interesting to see how, what that moisture plume it throws over North Florida and beyond. Here's a closer inspection. You can see that rain coming in around Jacksonville. And some of that rain is going to end up coming into our area as well. So that's the stuff we're going to be watching. All right. Yeah. Denise says, yes, I'm loving this. I'm from Vermont, so it's not that fall. Yeah, oh, yeah, no. No leaf peepers happening here for sure. Cheryl says the love bugs are out. I've not seen, but if they are, that's another indicator. That's another indicator. Arch says we don't need it to be chilly. Yeah, just a little taste of fall is never a bad thing, right? Just a little taste of fall. Does a body good. Nancy says, love those tweeting birds in the background. I know. I love it. It's great. Oh, man. Kelly says, go K-State. I'd say I'm a Pitt State gorilla after working in Pittsburgh, Kansas, but I love my Kansas roots, so go K-State. It'll be fun. Melanie says, go Noles. Look, it's another weekend of college football. Win, lose, or draw, it's going to be a lot of entertainment. And I think we can all agree that's what we want, right? Yeah. Love bug season. Apparently, somebody mentioned that they've already got the love bugs out there. Yeah. Leaf peepers. We learned that from talking to, was it AJ? No, it was Ted that we were talking to, and we learned about the leaf peepers, which the more I'm watching meteorologists up in New England, that's the term. I didn't know it until recently. So there you go. All right. Win, lose, or draw was a game show. Yes, yes. Karen says it's currently 46 in southern Vermont. I guess so. I haven't actually looked at the national temperature map in a minute. We should probably do that, though. Hold on. Okay, so our temperatures on Sunday morning, we know we're going to be in the 60s. Let's just take a minute and laugh, I guess, at other parts of the country. Because while we'll be at 68, okay, Texas will be a little warmer. That makes sense. Look at, this is Sunday morning. Montana and Denver going to be in the 40s. Yeah. So the chill is already starting in parts of the country. Here's a look at the actual current temperatures right now. So it's 74 in Orlando. We got 67 in Chicago, 58 in Boston. I don't know. I wouldn't mind some cooler temperatures personally, but this isn't too bad. Beats a sharp poke in the eye. Melissa says love bugs in St. Cloud. Oh, who knew? Denise says, yes, we call it leaf peepers in New England. Yeah, I'd never heard that term until we had talked to Ted McInerney last week from WMTW, and now I feel like it's all over my interwebs. All the Twitter posts are talking about leaf peepers. It's who knew? Nathan says, Cincinnati has Oklahoma this week. Let's just say I'm prepared for a butt whooping. Yeah. But then again, Cincinnati, they've pulled things out of their tuchus before, so who knows? Although it's not the Cincinnati of last year. But listen, I've got my own things against Oklahoma, as you can imagine. Just this year, and last year. Okay, so I'm just a frustrated transfer portal victim. Anyway, all right. Any other questions about the local stuff in the college football? Otherwise, we can move on to the tropics. See what's doing in that department. The tropics. Hurricane season is still very much a thing. And we had talked on the surface maps about that little area of low pressure trying to get going off of our east coast. Here's a look at the tropical satellite. Doesn't look like much, but you can definitely tell there's something happening here. Whether or not it's going to be tropical, subtropical or not, there is a medium 40% likelihood that something there gets going. Actually, it's 30% and 40%. I need to refresh this. Stand by. It's 30% over the next 2 days' time, 40% over the next 7 days' time. Kellyanne just didn't get a chance to update it, and that's okay. That's why she has me. All right. There you go. Now we can refresh it. So you got a 30% chance of development over the next 2 days' time, a 40% chance of development over the next 7 days' time. Again, develop or not, it's not going to be a big deal for us because it's moving north. It's moving away from us. So if something does get going, it would be more of kind of like Outer Banks kind of thing. Yeah, for them, not for us. So that's good for us. Of course, we're still tracking Nigel out in the open waters of the North Atlantic. Nigel's a Category 1 hurricane at this point in time. Nigel's not a threat to us. And then elsewhere, give me 2 seconds to update, because Kellyanne did not get a chance to update this one either. Stand by. I have to get these graphics done. Sausage being made. Usually I do this before coffee talk, but it's my fault. I didn't today. All right. Elsewhere in the tropics, as I was saying, we've got Nigel, Category 1 storm in the North Atlantic, and then there's that other wave coming off the coast of Africa out near the Cabo Verde Islands. Has a 70% likelihood of developing over the next 7 days' time, a 20% chance of development over the next 2 days' time. And that's going to be the one to be watched, I think, for us in Central Florida. The models do not have a great grasp on that eventuality there. And so, you know, it's not like I can sit here and tell you, like, nope, not coming here. Like, would love that. But, you know, we don't have that set in stone yet. So let's pull up some raw model data. All right, let's just kind of roll through this. There's that area of low pressure developing east of us. All right. Now, this is the GFS. According to the GFS, you've got it going into like the Carolinas. You see it right there? All right. Back to the wide view. That next wave in the central Atlantic developing, approaching the Antilles, the Leeward Islands, developing into a pretty decent little hurricane there. We'll come in a little closer. Recurving, which is fine with me. Right? Back out to the wide shot. Well, maybe something right behind it. But that's it. So current run of the GFS looking nice and quiet for us. Nothing threatening in Central Florida. Perfect. All right, let's switch over to the European. All right. European developing that area of low pressure off of the Florida East Coast, lifting it up basically to the Carolinas. Okay. Then you've got that wave crossing over and recurving. Now, what's interesting is the European has got it recurving a bit sooner. Okay, and then of course we go beyond to the earlier run. Yeah, I mean we don't have a 60 euro. Interesting. I don't see a 60 euro. All right, so there you go. So there's that. Now I do want to take a look at the ensemble plots. Let's go to the GFS ensembles. And we'll come into the Caribbean view. So there's the members kind of developing that area of low pressure. And you can kind of see the ensemble members. Most of them are taking it in around the Outer Banks. So there's that. And then that next thing kind of approaching. There's all the different low members. But approaching the Antilles and kind of doing their thing. Most everything is recurving it. Although some of the members are kind of taking it more, developing it in the Caribbean and moving into South Florida. But I'd say that that's absolutely an outlier. Just about all of the ensemble members are bringing it, you know, to about St. Croix area. If we just look at the circles here, you know, and then recurving it and keeping it out there. So vast majority of stuff is out east of us. There's that stuff to watch. And that's it. And that's the GFS. Let's come back over here to the European. And if you're asking questions, I apologize. I've not been answering. You can see, though, very clearly, right? Like the European, basically all the ensemble members are bringing it ashore there in North Carolina. And it's important to note, too, with the storms, and I haven't looked at your comments, so I apologize. I'm just kind of in analysis mode here. But it's important to note that, like, this is not going to become a major hurricane or anything, but it's going to probably make for a pretty crummy weekend. I mean, that's Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. So you're talking about a crummy Friday night, Saturday morning in the Carolinas. And then if we were to widen this out for a moment, you know, it goes right into the northeastern United States. So you're just kind of talking about a raw weekend across the northeastern United States from this little storm system. You know? And then beyond that, we'll just roll through. There are the ensembles showing up for that wave, and the European is much, much, much quicker on that curve. So we're looking good. All right, that's fine with me. So the ensembles, at least, are definitely looking better and better for us in Central Florida. You gotta love that. But for now, we're just going to continue to watch what we got in the tropics. Okay, now done with analysis. Now I can take your questions. And I apologize that I haven't been meaning to ignore you. I've just been reading. All right, let's see here. How long do we have until they stop curving north? Well, what you end up with is during the month of October and November, you have to start watching closer to home much more. So that's what we have to do. Any decent cold front starting to show up on the models? You know, I mean, with this little storm system off of our east coast, if I just pull up, here's what I'll do. I'll pull back up the models. What is that noise? Let's see here. All right, so I'm going to go to states. We'll do Florida. We'll do GFS. Temperature anomaly. All right. So, you know, just in looking at the next couple of days, right? Like that's a look at, you know, that's a look at Saturday. Temperatures below average. Temperatures kind of getting back to average. And then, you know, perhaps looking at like Monday, October 2nd, some below average temperatures. Nothing massive, but these are, you know, these are just kind of temperatures above or below average. So nothing massive, but, you know, there are some days that are going to be giving us temperatures below average. That's not bad. You know, that's not bad. Karen says, let's keep the Caribbean fairly clear from the 28th through the 2nd. Our quick cruise will fairly rocky, if not. Yeah, that's the goal. I'll do my best. I would love to not see any scary storms the rest of the season. Me as well. Me as well. Coffee is tasting so much better in my new Aldi cup. Oh my goodness, a new Aldi cup? That sounds fun. We're being so good and sweet this morning. What's wrong, Debbie? Yeah, I know. I know. Right? All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns? It's a beautiful morning. Right? Isn't that the way it goes? Think I'll have to remember the lyrics. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics. Let's get some rain before El Nino and the dry season gets here. That's true. That's very true. Yeah. Some new Aldi merch. I need to go. I'll go. I need to go. All right. Any other questions, people? It's 8:27. I guess not. Going once, going twice. Sold. It's beautiful. There will be some storms today. We'll track it. Don't worry about it. And then, of course, we'll chat again at 3:30. I'm off, so that's a good thing. Am I marching in the high school alumni band Friday? I am. Yeah. Lake Howell has the alumni band thing, so I'll be doing that. Yep. That'll be fun and embarrassing, as always. Yep. All right, people. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Be good. See you at 3:30. Take care. Bye.